Hey guys, Thorn here with our first ever YouTube video. Now I know I can't believe it too, it's taken us so long to finally get content out on the channel. But now just a quick disclaimer, we were supposed to be waiting till we had a full rebrand with the channel before starting any videos, but this is just too big an event, too big an update for War Thunder to miss out and not making any content on. Gaijin have finally released their plans to fix the economy along some other major problems that War Thunder's been facing over the last few years even. And the following is me and Twitch chat going over and breaking down the points that Gaijin have made along with the roadmap they have released. If you enjoy what you see, if you want to see more, make sure you hit that sub button, like the video and comment down below what you're most excited to see with this massive update to War Thunder. And also give me some suggestions on what we can do better in the videos going into the future, guys. As I said, first video, this is going to be just the start of all the content we're going to be making on this channel. So hit the subscribe button to make sure you don't miss out. Let's stop wasting time and get right into the video. After the feedback and suggestions, I'd like to show the new development roadmap of War Thunder for the next few months. I believe this is going from summer, so like now, into January, just over the new year, and I think everything's going to kind of take place in the last one. So I've been told that a lot of the Silver Line changes in that are in 3 stages throughout summer, going to your sort of autumn, sort of around about your October, November into December. And then everything should be in full effect by then. So to start us off with the Silver Lines, this is what most people I think were really upset about, is the fact Gaijin was completely decimating the economy. Now it's as if they're bringing it back. So they're improved the balance of Silver Lions, increasing the reward multipliers and reducing the cost of repairing vehicles to all vehicles break even for the average player. This is including players without premium. So this is a big, massive W in my books. It's good to see that they're going to help out anyone. They're not actually forcing you to buy in and get premium so you can make some profits. If you're playing the game and enjoying the game, rightly so, they're going to reward you for it. That's the way it should be. So yeah, huge move forward for them there. Calculations of the economy parameters for each vehicle for the average indicators instead of vehicle statistics. So this is quite good as well. This is basically, without reading into it, obviously they're saying all vehicle types for 1 BR rate and the average statistical indicators will be calculated. Basically they're going to show you as well how you are getting everything changed and how everything's getting put together. So this is again quite good. There's more transparency. The one thing that I would say is always going to be good if we can get some transparency from Gaijin when we're doing the game. Anything like this is better if they're going to show us more about how they come to certain conclusions, how things are calculated. This is what we want to see. So improvements to premium accounts, this is a big one. Most people I know have a premium account, and obviously it does make the grind just that little bit easier. If your total repair cost exceeds your income, you will be compensated after the battle, ensuring that your SL tally for the match remains at 0 unless you have team killed. So basically they're saying as long as you've been fair and you've not team killed anyone, you're not going to lose out essentially. As far as I know, are they not adding I think Gaijin's adding some sort of forgiveness button for people. I do think that is coming into the game, guys. Have they got plans to change anything other than the SL and RP mods? Yeah, Shawnee, so getting into that, I think it will tell us in the roadmap, so it's not too bad. And for anyone watching, we are talking to the Twitch chat as well, just to kind of go through this together. They can help me out, I can help them out if there's anything that we're unsure about, and then I can hopefully take things back to Gaijin if needed. So they're adding free backups to newly purchased premiums. This is really good. This means that if you go into a game and straight away you're killed, especially if you're a new player, this is going to definitely help you. Because if you go into the battle and you're not too sure about where the enemies are going to come from because you've not got the experience of the map, this is going to give you maybe another life with that premium that you've just spent $60-70 on, which is insane. This is a really good update, and I'm glad to see that they are bringing stuff like this into it. Dynamic repair cost reductions. The shorter the lifetime, the cheaper the repair without changing the max repair cost by date of feature introduction. So basically this is saying if you're taking out the game at the very beginning and you lose all your lives and you're going back, it's not going to cost you as much as what it would if you're throughout the whole battle. So again, I think this is more balancing up with how much you earn in a battle, and basically they're looking at it and going, do you know what, we're not going to do you over, We're not going to keep it as a static number. It's going to level and sort of move forward with your playtime and with what you're earning. So that again is an amazing update. These I've just realised are colour coded. Update June, so these I think are in effect just now as I say this with the Royale update. Summer update 2023. I think we're talking probably, my guess would be end of July, start of August for this sort of thing, and we'll see if that's accurate hopefully in the next wee while. It is going to be probably the next update unless they're doing another couple of minor ones. So they're also doing capture point rewards for vehicles that fail to survive until capture completion. This is really good. This is good for light vehicles that go into a point, and it also means with that, even if you die with Artie, you're still going to get points for starting off the cap. You're going to get points for driving through cap, so you might see more people try and rush through the first cap to get to a good point in the map. That might become a new tactic. We'll need to wait and see for that. I don't know how that's going to scale with the time that you're in it. I don't see them raising the actual amount that you get as a total for a cap point, but what I can see them doing obviously is kind of scaling it towards how long you're in the cap and what the progression's at. It might be good for that, but it might also be bad for if you get to a cap late. Is it going to be based off of the scale factor, or is it going to be based off of, right, you were there for the cap, we're going to give you all of it? That's maybe a good question to ask, Gaijin. Free repair if destroyed by an ally, so it's good to see that they're just going, do you know what, if you're destroyed by an ally, we won't charge you for it. You're going to keep all your SL and keep your economy hopefully thriving and going in the right direction. Detailed calculations of reward mission results window as well as private message window after the battle ends. So again, next major update. This is going to be a big one. This is just, again, a wee bit more transparency. So yeah, all round, I'd say that is pretty much a W for the whole community. This is a big one for me, changes to progression and research points. So they're condensing the tech trees by grouping vehicles of decreasing requirements, research points, to research vehicles in groups by 2 times. So I think this means any sort of foldered vehicles are going to be less RP than what the original would be. So it's still going to cost you the full amount, obviously, to get the one that's like the next one you have to do. But then anything that's foldered, I believe they're going to be a reduction in what you need. I think this is to stop people from doing what everyone seems to do. I don't really know anyone that goes into the folder unless they've already got that whole tech tree basically, or unless they've got a favourite vehicle. I don't think many people go into the folders and go, I have to get these, unless you're a diehard, this is my nation, this is all I'm going to play. Moving on. Reduction of research points and purchases costs for rank 6 and 7 aircraft. This is needed because my god do they cost a lot. Hopefully we see something like this for ground. I don't actually see it on here, just quickly reading through. I still think ground vehicles cost far too much for the rewards that you're given. I think the rewards for ground should be matching the rewards for top tier air. And again, I still think this is so true. Even with the rewards that air get and air RB, it's still nowhere near enough for you to play a fair amount of games, in my opinion, to unlock a top tier vehicle, especially for people that don't have the time to sit day in, day out and grind up. But again, hopefully see it move forward with their new progression system and see what they've kind of got in store for us. Moving on, skill bonuses and RP. So this seems quite good. This is going to reward you for actually playing well in the game. So extra rewards for a certain number of kills in a session, required kill number, as well as bonus values are determined by the game mode and the vehicle rank. So again, this could be pretty good if you're lower tiers. I think it means that basically if you go into like a 2-7 game like we usually do and you get 10 kills, it's not going to be as rewarding as going into a top tier game and doing the same. But again, if you use a little ATGM on top tier, maybe you can still do that. I've seen plenty of people use ATGM launchers and just cross map people, and hopefully they don't get this sort of bonus, because if so, it's going to make top tier just rife with ATGM little vehicles with bushes all over it. So hopefully this gets fixed. This again is going to come out in the next major update. For example, approximate rank, so this is for arcade ground battles. 3 kills you get plus 15% RP, 6 kills you get plus 30, 9 kills you get plus 50. Obviously, they're not giving us the numbers for realistic by the looks of it, so this will be interesting. I want to see how it's put through, and I want to see how transparent it is. Again, transparency is the one thing that I'm hoping they're going to keep adding, and hopefully it will give us good indicators when you've finished the game as to where your sort of RP and SL is coming from. So again, a W for that. I'm quite happy with that, and I think the community seems quite good with this one as well. The detailed calculations of the reward mission results window as well as private messages. So again, we spoke about this. This is them just saying at the end of a game, we're going to kind of give you a breakdown as to where all your sort of RP and SL is coming from. Research bonuses for new nations. This is a big one, guys. After obtaining a top tier vehicle of one nation, so basically if you've got, say, you've done Germany, you've got your Leo 2A6, I think even the 2A5 or whatever, I think like just as long as you're in the top tier rank 7s or something, I'm sure if you've got one of them it'll count. Basically it's telling you a bonus is added to the research of vehicles of this type in other nations where the top tier vehicles have not yet been received. So basically this is saying bonus is given for 3 battles every day for each nation separately and depends on the rank of the research vehicle. Approximate values: rank 4 plus 15, rank 5 plus 25, rank 6 plus 35, rank 7 to rank 8 plus 50%. So this is basically saying if you've got top tier in one nation, you're going to get a bonus towards other nations, because again, you've played the game, you've got to the top tier, they know that you're just going to go into another tech tree if you're still enjoying the game and try and do the same. A massive positive direction for Gaijin. Hopefully it keeps going. Hopefully they don't go back on this and they don't revert stuff. Obviously things are going to change, but from what they've said in, I think, the previous post where they talk about the changes, they've said they've been looking and modelling this for a long time. If you believe that, then it should be a good thing. It should mean that this should be implemented pretty easily and not have too many issues for the community, which is, again, huge W. Other progression updates. So revision of the use and obtaining of the fire prevention equipment, repair sets for tanks and ships, as well as countermeasures for aircraft. So this is basically going to talk about modules, and again, we've always been saying maybe you should start with some amount of parts, or maybe you should be able to repair once. Same with fire prevention. So this is saying your FP of ground vehicles will be split into default for a single use fire and an improved type which requires a module research for it's capable of fire extinguishing twice. So basically they're giving us what we've been asking for. Every vehicle you research, you're going to start off with FPE. I think it's the same with naval, and what's going to happen is you're going to be able to put the fire out once. So if you back off after getting shot once, you can put that fire out, but the second time, that is when you're going to need to have the module. So that's quite a big W as well. Same with naval vessels, split into default and improved. Default one will take longer to put out the fire, but no limitation on number of uses. Again, naval you get put on fire a hell of a lot more, and again, fire lasts a lot longer on naval without any ammo sort of pops or that going off. So again, massive moves forward, massive I'm going to call these strives of improvement, because this is stuff we've been asking for since the beginning, basically, of it. Essentially since the beginning of when I've been playing, at least, which is about 2 to 3 years I've been playing the game. So I've not seen it at what a lot of people have been moaning about and wishing it was backlight, but I've seen it from pretty recent times, and this looks like a massive stride forward. Parts and ground vehicles and tool sets of naval vessels also split into default and improved. Default tools available without modification, researchable, field repair, all modules, not only mobility ones, until partially functionable. So it's just like kind of the arcade. So it means you're going to be able to repair your tank, but it's not going to make it full. You know, you're not going to have full range of movements and that with the vehicle. So again, huge W. It means you're actually going to be able to still use your tank. You're not going to be sitting waiting. Standard countermeasures will be available immediately to researched aircraft. That is massive. Options such as shaft only, improved flares, mixed flares priority will be available by research and module. That's still massive. The fact that you're going to have stock flares is insane. Additional options such as ball pods, additional shaft pods will remain available by module research. So I'm guessing that means if the plane has countermeasures attached and it's not a armament that gets attached to it, because obviously there is a few planes that has that, you're basically going to start off with the basics, which is insane. That's going to be quite a big one, especially with the new missiles that I feel they're adding in. The higher tier you go, the more difficult it is with stock sort of weaponry layouts, stock missiles, and then no flares. You're kind of going in and out of games really quick. You're going in, you're lucky if you get 1 or 2 kills, and then you're out. This gives you the sort of survivability, which is something that's a huge move forward again. Mission points reward for repair and fire extinguishing assist of allies. So I think this again is just saying that they're going to be giving you more stuff for doing more in games. which again is good. Helicopter research progression by playing ground vehicles. A player will be able to select either tank or helicopter to channel research points into ground battles. We were just talking about the KA-50 before. This is telling you that if you play a helicopter in a ground battle, which let's face it is where 90% of people play stuff like the KA-50, a player will be able to select either tank or helicopter to channel research points. That is going to be insane. That's probably going to, you're going to see a lot more black sharks going up in there, guys. You're going to see a lot more helicopters, and it's going to give them something more to strive towards with it. I don't know how I feel about that. Twitch chat's given a really good point there, basically saying it's hopefully going to keep people playing the game longer, and it's really bad because I got to points where I'd get my favourite plane, and if I was getting put in a stock game and then I was up against someone like when the F-16 came out that had it near enough spaded from the get-go, you were never going to win that. Never going to win that. So that's a huge strive forward again. Battle tasks and battle pass tasks available in ground simulator battles. So you're going to be able to do stuff in sim. Keeping progression of the daily rewards in the PC version by collecting daily rewards worth on the mobile. Don't really think that applies to us. Don't really think that's a big one. So matchmaking, something everyone is going to be excited for right now. Night battles are temporarily disabled with the Royale major update. So that means it's live now. In the future, they can be optionally enabled next major update. So they're going to let you toggle. I think they know a lot of people are getting really upset with night battles. I'll be surprised to see many people doing night battles when it comes to this. The fact that you can do this. I didn't think they'd add this. I always spoke about them adding a sort of map selector, but again, the maps that people don't like just will not get played. I didn't think they'd do this. Changing the matching settings for high ranked battles in order to collect more competitive battles at cost of minimal increase in waiting time. Right, so there we go. They're basically saying the waiting time's probably going to increase, but you're going to be able to change some of the settings to maybe do that. So we'll see what they add and what they let us toggle on and off for our searches. Display of BR ranges and the map filter, that's going to be a big one. Hopefully this is what we're talking about, where they're going to move forward with certain maps just don't make sense for certain BRs. There's a lot of maps that are great for vehicles all the way up to 7.0, but as soon as you start adding ATGMs into the game, it literally becomes a spawn sniping map, which is what we don't like, and it's what ruins a lot of the fun when you join a battle and instantly just can't spawn with the fear of just being sniped straight away. So that's a big one. Improving the balance of late cold warrior vehicles when the homogeneous steel and full caliber shells to APDS, ATGM, gun stabilization, etc. by changing the BR of certain vehicles. So again, this summer update, it looks like they're going to be reworking quite a lot of the tech trees, so that's not too bad. Location and mission, strike UAVs move to higher BRs. This is something that just needs taken out of the game in my opinion, but again, each to their own. To allow players to have SAM systems capable of countering them, again, it's not going to be as straightforward as that, especially with the range of the Hellfires that are on half of them. Hydroplane respawn points moved to the map centre, allowing them to spawn over friendly airfields. That's quite a good one. That came out, these are all just now by the way. Reduction of the effective AI anti-air guns, convoys, aircraft modes, special winter trees for winter versions of locations. This can be pretty cool. I want to see how this gets added into the game. We didn't really look at that in great detail. Fixed issue with bushes when shot through or after a collision. This one, I will believe it when I see it. I'm pretty sure I've heard Justin, Jean, all the big guys talk about this issue from day one of playing the game, and they've said they've fixed it many times, and I don't see that happening. Location pole in Eastern Europe, change the landscape outside the towns in order to get rid of large forest and hills, including the fields. Massive standing in the forest where no one is visible will lead to more active gameplay. That's what we want as well. That's a W. That's just forcing people to actually take part in the battles. Changes to the landscape design. They're basically changing a lot, so we're not going to read all of this, but a lot of maps are going to get changed. They're going to start trying to make it active battles and not people sitting back a lot. This is quite a big one though. So they're doing a massive revision of assets, collision and ground vehicle locations in order to get rid of the inconsistency of visual and physical models. This is quite big, and I also know that they're trying to make the boundary boxes of a tank and the ground not interfere as much with each other, meaning that if you do get flip, it's easier for you to flip back over. Basically means your turret's hopefully not going to clip through the world. So that's quite good. The other one is improvement of jungles, reducing the number of positions camouflaged by vegetation. This will improve visibility. I think this again's kind of going against what a lot of people have been saying, where if you're using ultra low quality ULQ warriors, they can see right through and get you. If you're trying to make the game look good, if you've got a good machine that can run it well, you're always going to be at the disadvantage. So I think this is more balancing the playing field. Anything big with the gameplay? Damage models, small caliber heat rounds, fragmentation charge. This is not too bad. That's just been added there. Again, it's more just about the spawning. For jets along flight axis will be capable of inflicting damage to the crew and dimensions. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's just quality of life update for them. Improved indication of spawn protection. I think the indication's been quite good. The issue I've got is if you go to another area in the map, it shows the sort of spawn protection around that, which sometimes makes you think that you might be in the view of the enemy spawn. Again, not a bad thing because you shouldn't really be spawn camping, but it's something to bear in mind when they're doing it. Finalization of the mechanics, the commander in sights, or the commander sights in tanks, adding a short delay to hunter killer mechanics. That's quite good. That means you can't instantly switch, especially against people that know what they're doing with it. That thing is absolutely deadly. Absolutely deadly. The ability to accept an apology of teammates. This is what we were talking about before. So when accepting an apology, the apologising player will not be awarded penalty points followed by possible kick from the session and a ban for this team kill. So again, pretty much like Hell Let Loose, like if you say that you accept the apology or you don't want to punish the team killer, let's say, in a game like that, it would be the spawn time they'd have, they'd get a penalty on top. Obviously in a game like this, it's down to the SL they're going to get, and if they've been doing it frequently, they might get kicked from the session, and also they might get banned. This is quite a big step forward if guys are going to start putting a lot more bans out for consistent team killing. Yeah, everyone's basically saying it about time. That's probably the best way to do it. Get rid of these guys that are just constantly going in, especially with stuff that's going on in the world. There's a lot of team killing been in the game. They've not really addressed it, so this is massive strides forward for that. Destructible 3D decorations, so this is quite good as well. The ability to shoot down or destroy, taking into account setting of damage models. At the same time, we do not plan to add the effect for decorations on the projectile to simplify the vehicle's damage model. That's fine. That's fine. Again, something nice. It's going to be in the next major update. Reworking of network logic to solve the problems of ghost shells. So without reading all of this, what this is basically saying is if you fire on your screen, it might not be firing on the server because of the latency, and they're basically trying to put measures in place to stop that from happening, to increase your latency, make sure it's or decrease the latency, sorry, make sure that if you fire on the screen, the server's basically recognizing that and you're both running off of the same sort of timing in the game, and that means if you see it, it's definitely going to happen. This is a huge move forward, but again, I will believe this when I see it, because they said they fixed this when I first joined the game. And let me tell you, in the last 2 years, I have had plenty of ghost shells that I have got evidence of over on Twitch that definitely say that this has not happened. So yeah, refinement of tanks and landscape collision solver. So again, this is it. So when it's flipped in the turret and top, it's almost impossible to turn over. This has been added. I've not seen it happen yet, but again, they're working on increasing the collisions to make sure that your tank doesn't go into the map and it becomes impossible for you to pull turn over, even if someone's trying to pull over. So we'll see what happens with that one. Yeah, Twitch is saying they fix ghost shells in every update. Yeah, if you guys want to see how well they've fixed it, twitch.tv/KingThorinHammer. That is where you'll see it. If I get the kills, of course. Yeah, we get that a lot of times where we will fire and get absolutely nothing from it. Improved target hits and alerts in air battles. For an air target that is considered shot down under current conditions, but still has the ability to hit its offender, or if there are munitions on fire, we're going to add delay in reporting the frag, possibly blocking the control. So I don't know what that really means, possibly blocking the controls of the shot aircraft after some time. Does that mean that it's not going to tell you it's dead until it physically can't shoot? I feel like that's what they're kind of aiming at here. They're basically saying we're not going to tell you it's dead and then it's magically going to clap you with another missile or something in air. Basically, I think this means is as soon as it is completely immobilized, sort of can't do anything, then we'll give you the frag for it. Others, making it easier to report hate speech in chat, adding a separate category. This should have been added so long ago, dude. As is shown, chat log is attached to the complaint. I always thought that was a thing. I know other content creators said the same. It's good to see that they're doing it though, even if we did think it was in the past, it's good to see that it's coming through. It's something they've identified and it's going to work. So for our convenience, you can find the mentioned topics presented in the planned timeline. So this is what they've got. This is basically what this is all about, guys. So right now, Royale, it just came out on the 13th, or was it the 14th? It was the 14th of the 6th. So 14th of June this came out. So missions and locations at 1 out of 3. So yeah, they've split everything up basically. So this is where they're going to change strike UAVs. Hydroplane respawns are going to be moved to the center. Reduction of the effective AI anti-air guns. This one I don't believe, because we are just after finishing a game and an AI Gepard shot me down in an A10. So we'll see how this goes on. But yeah, right now, don't believe this one. Special winter trees for versions of the locations. Again, I've not really seen this either, but we will need to maybe have a deep dive into the game and see what we can find. Fixed issues with bushes when shot through. Again, I'll believe this when I see it. Matchmaking, yeah, night battles. I've not seen one yet, so that's a big W. Changing the matching settings for high ranked battles in order to collect more complete battles at cost minimal increased times. Again, that's something that I don't mind doing. Even if you're waiting an extra minute or two, you're going to get a better game. It's not going to be a small game where it's maybe 6-on-6 or that. You're actually going to have a full fulfilling battle at top tier. That's something that, again, massive strive forward. Glad they've kind of pointed this out, and glad to see that it's kind of going to be implemented soon. Hopefully, again, this is 1 out of 4, so they're going to just keep working on it. That's always a good sign. Gameplay refinement. So the heat models are getting fixed. Ground vehicles and landscape collision solver. That is good to see getting put in. That's something that I think they've been working on for a while though, especially the collision solver. So again, good to see it's finally implemented, and they'll be tweaking it as time goes on. Changes to SL, so it's going to start in the June update, as well as the fire protection and the ground vehicles and everything. That's going to start in June. Matchmaking for the map filters is going to happen in the next update as well. So again, going down this list, in the summer they're going to be doing the research points. That's when that's going to start, as well as the second phase of the Silver Lions, which is going to be the improvements and negating the negative battle SL. So basically making sure that you're not losing SL when in battle. That's the thing that I think the community were more annoyed at. So again, summer update should be in the next month or so. Other progression updates, this is going to be the mission point rewards, repairs, fire extinguishers. So yeah, just basically adding the stuff. And again, this one I still don't know how I feel about it. Helicopter research progression by playing ground vehicles. Again, it's good that you're going to get the helicopters, but I think they're pushing the helicopters into ground a lot recently. I pretty much guarantee you we're going to see a pack with a KA-50 in it when the next sale happens. Improvement balanced vehicles for the matchmaking. The locations and missions are getting updated, and we're getting the gameplay improvements for spawn zones. So again, the hate speech is coming in during the summer update as well. That's going to be a welcomed addition to the game. Early autumn, so there we go, there's our answer. Early autumn, guys, they're going to be doing the second phase of the research points, and all the changes for the Silver Lions will be good. So basically, guys, if by the end of autumn you're not happy with the economy still, then that's it. I don't think we'll be upset with it though. By the looks of it, the detailed calculations of rewards, basically it's just going to be, they're going to show the full breakdown after the battle ends. So that's a good thing to see. Basically all the progression updates will be added, bar the research point ones. The matchmaking should be fixed, and night battles will be coming back in again as a toggle, so I think no one will have that toggled on. The ability to accept an apology will all be in, with the 3D decoration being destructible, rework of the, so yeah, the ghost shells are wanting to have fixed by then. But again, every update they say that, so we'll see if this might be the one that does it, and the improvement to the jungle. So again, if you're ULQ, this is basically going against you, but if you like to play on high settings or that, this is going to help you kind of balance the playing field. And then at the end, in October, November, for the 4th update of the year, that is when they're going to have the full bonuses for new nations with players with top tier. So basically they're saying by the end of the year in October, November, if you've got a top tier in one tree, you're going to be rewarded for the next. So again, absolutely amazing thing to see, and I think most people are quite happy with this. So there we have it, guys. Huge win for the War Thunder community if guys can go ahead with this. Now, I hope they don't change anything going further down the line. I hope everything works out well and we just start to all enjoy the game and just enjoy all the new content that they've got in store for us. Guys, if you did like the video, make sure to hit that like button. If you made it to the end, comment down below that you made it to the end. And again, let me know what you're most excited for coming out of this roadmap and anything you think they might have missed. If you want to stay around for the journey, make sure you hit that subscribe button over here, guys. Join us on Discord, and don't forget twitch.tv/King ThorinHammer if you want to get involved with us live. We stream 3 days a week, and we are hoping to do more, going over all the new stuff that Gaijin's got in store for us. But guys, until the next video, you take care, and I'll see you in the next one.